Good evening. Well, I'm just glad to be here. The last 2 years I've been other places engaged in trial preparation and trial whatever, so it's a real privilege to be here. We have been together as a group since 1983. We're by far the longest group that's stayed here, and it's sometimes it's a challenge to keep the group together, but it is worth all of the trouble and effort to keep it together because, in my opinion, this is the best group of guys at the club. Now, we have some awards tonight. And I try to put some thought into it. And ladies, I know that you've heard some of the stories about the group. We have only one rule in this group, and that is if you show up, you play. But as a kind of an adder to it, you cannot play in this group if you have thin skin, because we tend to agitate and get on folks or whatever. I'll just give you an example. Tom told me in Florida this year, he said, you know, you were a lot better when you were fat. So, you know, it's always working on each other and whatever. We have fun. I don't hunt, I don't fish. This is my male bonding. And again, all the guys that have joined the group over the years, I've had nothing but fun with them. I hope they've had nothing but fun with me. I will apologize in advance to the ladies here. Remarks I'm going to make are not even PG, but you may think I'm a little bit rough on some folks, and if you do, I apologize in advance. Okay? The first award I want to make tonight, I'm going to call it the Ninja Award. And it's going to Dr. Sung. And I love him to death. No one in the years that he's been a member out here has improved more than Dan has. But he has a dark side. 2 years ago, when we're down in Florida, I'm sitting in the cart with him, and of course we have to engage with these new guys that play with us from Belle Reve and Old Worson and whatever, and they don't look at things the same way we do. And literally I had to restrain him from getting out of the cart because two guys were moving their ball around or dropping balls and picking up balls, and Dan looks at one guy and says, look, we play the ball down, okay? Have you ever played golf before? You know what the rules of golf are? Dan? So we get a little further. Dan and I are playing, and the 30 years I've been going down to Florida, I can tell you I never had so much fun in my life in a two-man match as playing with Dan. We're playing a guy that's a two-handicapper and another guy from Old Worson. And Dan was absolutely spectacular. He's driving the ball great. I said, look, hit it and play. I'll knock it on the green. We'll figure out a way to make par. We'll be okay. And this one guy, the two-handicapper, was so bad, he's trash-talking me, which, you know, that's a useless enterprise, okay? Anyway, we get to the 15th or 16th hole, the 15th hole, and we're playing alternate shot, and both guys hit the ball out of play. And the two-handicapper decides we're going to go back to the tee, and both guys hit balls. Well, obviously, you have to elect one guy. So I, believe it or not, I was very diplomatic. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't jump on them and said, look, you guys shouldn't have both hit balls. You have to choose one or the other. Dan's ready to get out of the cart and kick both their asses. That's right. What are you talking about? Okay. So one of the things that I grabbed my book of rules. If you'll apologize for a second as I get my props out. Dan was on my Ryder Cup team this year in Florida. And he's in like the last match. And his partner is playing another guy who's one of John Guilfoyle's clients. He hits the wrong ball on 17. Now in match play, I understood the rules. In match play, you hit the wrong ball, you lose the hole. Well, Dan was very diplomatic. He pointed out to Kurt, he said, Kurt, here are your options. You could either lose the hole or attempt to play 18 with no arms. I I looked up the rule and it says clearly that isn't an option. Okay, you have to just lose the hole. You don't have an option of playing with no one. And I thought things were getting better, but 2 weeks ago he threatened to knife a guy for taking the last fritter. I wish that Janet was here tonight because I was going to tell her whatever medication she's got him on, it ain't working. So Dan has won the Ninja Award for the year. I want him to come up here.
Yay, Dan! All
Now, obviously, as a ninja, you have to have obviously a belt. You've got to have a sash.
It wasn't as bad as he said.
I bet.
You've got to have a sash.
I think your belt goes outside the sash.
No.
No?
Forehead.
Forehead.
No, forehead.
Forehead?
What's that?
Is there a hood?
Yes.
It's your wife brushing it all over.
Headrest comes next. Headrest comes next.
We're in the office.
That's a skull cap.
There you go. There you go. You're doing good. No.
Would you want that? Would you want that to be your pain doctor? I think what they mean by that, he gives you pain.
God. There you go.
Obviously, you can't be a ninja without the knife. You've got to have the disc to throw. And what ninja would be complete without a samurai sword?
None.
Don't stab yourself.
Yeah. You got some. Watch out what you're sticking.
Turn his mask around so he can turn the mask around.
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. So he can have this in his bag in Florida.
There you go, Matt. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Matt is safe. There you go. Nice. Real. Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Oh,
There we go. There we go. Our ninja for 2017.
That's your circumcision story.
The second presentation I want to make, obviously we had a situation this year, again, Bob has talked about this in his song, talking about our tea times. And obviously I went crazy because some of the guys, most of you are really, really good. I mean, Mike Boyle used to send me his email when he left the golf course on Sunday saying he's going to play the next weekend. But some guys had problems getting it to me, and sometimes I didn't get it until Thursday. But there was one guy that never emailed me the entire year. Now, he did email me the first time saying, Pat, I'm willing to be the captain. And I told Mr. President, I said, look, you've got a lot on your plate. You don't need that aggravation. But I never heard from him the rest of the year. So I thought he must have lost my contact information. So Bill, here's my business card, okay? For next year, you can go ahead and email me or call me or tell me whatever your wishes are for the next week. Usually those cards are getting thrown out of helicopters over rail yards, okay? So it's special that you got one. Okay, our third presentation tonight. This was something that I just came up with, and I want to call it the Satan Award. Now, this could be something that's passed on from year to year, but I suspect it won't pass on, okay? And the Satan Award is the award that we give to the guy that has won so much money this year that you hope he burns in hell. We know who that is. So, Dr. Jackson, if you would step forward,
You earned it.
First off, how can you be Satan without a pitchfork? Okay.
That's why I wear shorts when I started to get ready.
Now, I can't be too angry because as Matt pointed out to me, Ted Maloney would have won the Greenbrier Slam this year, except for the fact that the two of us won member. Otherwise, Maloney would have won everything. So Bob, actually, your song was incorrect because we did defend the honor of the Dewsweepers. Okay. And Ferris is the greatest partner in the world. I mean, did a lot better with him than another guy in the city. Now, the handicap committee has also gotten back to me, and they said, look, we'd like him to first off turn all his scores in.
Did Florida get turned in
yet? We have
yet?
to figure out a way to make things equal to everyone else. So they've asked me to issue something else beside the pitchfork. Hold on.
What could this be?
If you would, Doctor, would you put this on your head?
You're on.
And he has to play with that.
Wait, he needs his shorts.
Can you see with that? Perfect. I think he has to play with that next year.
Yeah.
We got a chance of getting some of our money back. Now this could be a traveling trophy, but I suspect he's going to keep it next year too. Art, thanks so much for being such a good sport. Now there's a lot of levity here, but there's some sad things too. We're losing one of our Dewsweepers.
No.
And I wanted to propose a toast to Ted and Peggy Sizemore.
Ted. How about Tom?
That'll be Tom.
I can say for a fact he's the only University of Kansas graduate that I like.
Bob won't have any company
To
anymore.
whatever adventures you and Peggy engage in the future, we wish you the very,
Yeah,
very
thank
best.
you.
We will miss you. Before I make my last presentation, I want to, again, have a toast for Scott. And again, I don't know what his situation is going to be, whether he's going to come back and work with us next year or what, but he's given us many, many years here. It's an emotional situation for me. I was here when he was an assistant. I was here as head professional. He taught all three of my kids how to play. It's not even a situation that he taught them how to play golf. It's that he instilled the love of the game. And the hundreds and hundreds of juniors we got going through here, the junior program that he established here at this club is the absolute standard for the Gateway PGA.
Oh, come on. More than
The first year we went down to Florida.
Pass that microphone around.
First year we went to Florida. Again, you guys think that you newer members think that Tom and I are really bad. Believe me, back in the 80s, we didn't talk on your backswing, we talked on our backswings, okay? It never stopped. Scott announces one day that he wants, the deal was you couldn't play in the same group with Cox, O'Brien, and Wampler and have any chance of winning money. He says, I want these 3 guys. Okay. He got us. We're playing Wildcat, and he shot under par. I think he shot 69 or 70. One of the par 5s, number 7, it's a risk-reward par 5. Back then, he could just hit the ball out of sight. It's a 520-yard hole. He hits a 1-iron over all the trees, hits a 1-iron on the green, about 15 feet, makes eagle, and doesn't get a skin. I'm a 9 handicapper at the time. I hit a wedge in about 12 feet, made that for birdie with a stroke, then won all the carryovers in the next hole. He shoots 69, did not win a bet, did not win a skin. He came into the clubhouse and said, I'm a believer. There's no way you can beat those 3 guys or all together. Okay, there's no way. But again, from the bottom of my heart, Scott, hopefully you're going to be back here to work with us next year, but I cannot thank you enough for the impact you've made, not only in my life, but my children's lives, and all the other kids out here and members that have played. You made it so easy for us to keep this group together. Without your assistance, without your help, this group never would have stayed together. So thank you again.
Thank you. I'll say this, not every year has not been a pleasant one. And I needed some help sometimes, and this group is always behind me. And I appreciate your support, even when things look bad, and I'll never forget you all. I love you all to death, and I'll miss you. Thank you.
All right, for my final presentation, I want to talk to Matt. And obviously, we're really proud of him that he is qualified to attempt to go out and represent the club in the PGA Championship. Scott qualified back in '87. It's a big deal. And I want to give Tom Cox all the credit. He and I were sitting down having one of our normal political discussions, trying to figure out which Democratic fundraiser he wanted to accompany me to. And he said, look, we've got to do something to help Matt because this qualifier is out of the West Coast. It costs a lot of money, and we need to help it. Pat, you need to get in front of this. So I had a long conversation with Matt Lacefield and trying to figure out, at one point we were trying to figure out a way to get a total Greenbrier effort. Matt said, look, Pat, we can't set a situation where we've got the entire club doing a fundraiser because then if another employee retires, it sets a bad precedent, whatever. I said, I get that. I said, how about if the Dewsweepers try to do something for me? He said, Pat, that's fine. Send out an email. I can tell you, I have never been prouder to be a member of this group. Not only did you all respond, you responded within 8 hours. I made a suggestion as to what the contribution was. No one said a word about it. They said, Pat, great idea. Where do I send the money? Matt, if you'd step up here. I'm proud to present you as the representative of the Dewsweepers. $2,200 to do with whatever you wish to help you take your family
Wow, this is totally unexpected. Thank you so much, you guys. Totally unexpected. I'm at a loss for words. I'm sorry, but this means the world to me, and I'm so proud and to represent Greenbrier in California in June, and I will be ready and hope to see you all follow me in the fairways of Belle Reve next August. They might want to come to California, June 17th to the 20th. I'll be there. Lacefield, you ready? So, a buddy of mine, a teammate from college who lives in Crestwood, is making the trip with me and caddy for me. he said he'd do it on one condition, that if I made it, that he was on the bank at Bell Reeve. So if I make it, don't sign up for my caddy because he's on it. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate this. Totally understand.
Finally, I think we ought to give Bob a round of applause. He sets this whole thing up. He's a guy who is I'll sit down. Thank you.
There you go, Pat.